it was. Dang.
It's past time to go. We got to go. It's a Buck show for Hafeman Bros and a special guest, our Bucks insider, Nico, and Ben's hanging out with him tonight. So you don't even have like guys on 3 different screens. You got guys on 2 screens with 3 guys and maybe 4 guys and maybe 5 guys. Who the heck knows what's going on at Nico's house?
We're getting burgers?
Burgers? Like burger?
I don't know. You said 5 guys. I may be hungry. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I just meant, some people might pop in the background. You don't know who's all over there or what's happening over there.
It's true. Party at my house.
Party at your house. All right. I got a new beer tonight. It's for Ben. It's called the Foggy Geezer. And it's from War Pigs. It's it says a super fruity and dank War Pigs hazy IPA forged in collaboration between 3 Floyds and Mike Heller, or McKellar probably. But anyway, Foggy Geezer for Ben.
Whoa.
Foggy Geezer. What are you guys drinking over there?
I got some Sprite and a Packers mug. I got some Sprite. I don't know what it's in.
All right. I got my classic Bucks glass back. The kids use it way too much, but I get it back once in a while. I try to get when we're going to do a show because, the Bucks won the championship for the first time in 50 years. 50 years! Jesus! Anybody still believe it? Are you still kind of like, you take a nap and you wake up and you're like, did it really happen? Did it happen? It did happen. It did, you guys. What do you think right now? How are you feeling, Nico?
Look at that hat.
Wait, I don't see it. I got too many other things open up here. Champions! And what time is it, Nick?
What time is it?
What time is it? What did Giannis say? What time it was?
Party time. Pate time.
Party.
Time to pate.
That's so great. Oh my God. Giannis is awesome. All right, Ben.
Yeah.
You were previously, once upon a time. No, you weren't. You weren't one of the people that said, all right, other stupid people. Once upon a time, not that long ago, tried to say that the Bucks were better without Giannis, maybe. What do they say now? What do you say to them, Ben?
They're wrong. Giannis is... Are you kidding, man? He made all the free throws. Oh, he missed 2. But he made all the other ones. He dunked it. 1 time. Put up a 50 burger. He made a 3-pointer once.
Yeah, 3-pointer.
5 blocks. 5 blocks.
5 blocks, a couple of goaltends, bunch of alters. Like he swatted like 10 balls in that game.
The Bucks scored 105 points and he had 50, for God's sake. I mean, come on. He had 25% of the total points of the game. It's a 200-point game. Yeah.
In fact, not a lot of people had dropped down.
Bobby Portis, my favorite Buck.
They needed him.
It was awesome.
They needed him.
Nick and I were talking about our favorite moment of the game.
What's that? Tell me.
When Bobby Portis was trying to keep Chris Paul from whining to the refs. He was laughing at him. That was my favorite part of the game. That was the best because Paul was so mad that he couldn't go cry to the refs like he wanted to, that he almost got a technical for fighting because he wanted to get to the refs so bad.
Oh my goodness.
It's true.
I don't. For me, it doesn't overshadow like the awesome stuff that Giannis did. But okay, that's fine. I mean, if that's what you guys want to go with.
8 times longer than yours.
Like, I'm sorry, but some of the incredible plays that Giannis made trump that for me, or they're better than that. But that was still an awesome moment. Lots of great moments in that game. Ugly start, but this team did what it does, man. They stuck with it. They did the exact opposite of what the Suns did in Game 5, right? Suns got a big lead in the first quarter. Then the other team came back and took the lead by half. And then the Bucks went on to win in Game 5 when they were the ones that were down and they had to come back in the second quarter. And then in this game, they get the big lead. They lose the big lead by even more. And then what happened in the third quarter, Nick? What happened?
For the second time, Giannis scored 20 points in a quarter.
pretty solid since that had not been done since 1998, but he did it twice in this series. A lot of other players, the Bucks didn't shoot great again.
He did not.
Overall. Holiday had another not great shooting percentage.
He was 1 for 11 in the first half. 1 for 11.
Yeah.
And then he missed.
He missed his at one point.
Then he missed his first shot of the second half, and then Giannis said,
"Play the second half."
And then Giannis said, "What?
It's time to party, baby."
No, he said, "Give me the ball. You guys can't make anything." Well, Middleton missed a couple, and he cleaned that up too. But then you were sitting there, you're like, "That's it. Giannis does everything. Giannis shoots every time. Giannis gets every rebound. Giannis blocks every shot. Just go, Giannis."
Yeah, it was all about Giannis. I mean, everybody helps, but he just kind of took that game over in a way that some people aren't sure you can do. But he was hustling on defense, hustling on offense, setting picks, cleaning up everybody else's missed shots, the putbacks, and then he wasn't just dunking either. He had a couple of little like spin move fadeaways a little bit, and a little, he's making it from more than 5 feet away, which sometimes people struggle with. And he was just doing it all.
That's what we should finish on. Okay. About that, which is really interesting, is all these people that were downplaying Giannis's game, criticizing his game because he doesn't shoot a bunch of threes, I guess, like some of these players. And then other people coming out immediately, like the day after he has this performance, and they're already trying to say, make comparisons that, yeah, well, he's great. He's still not better than KD. Like, he's not KD, blah, blah, blah. Well, yeah, he's not KD because KD can't do a bunch of stuff that he can do. Like, yeah, maybe he can't do some of the stuff Kevin Durant can do, but Kevin Durant can't go and bang inside and take all that contact and power through it and have all those great finishes. He can't do that stuff. He can't block all those shots. So I don't understand it. I don't understand the basketball has always been a game of, very different positions, right? There's different players, just like a lot of games, that have different, roles on the team, offensively, defensively. And you can be really awesome at a position or two. And just because you don't do stuff that a certain other position does, doesn't mean you're not an incredible player. Doesn't mean you're not the best player. Like, Giannis and Shaq has come out and said 100 times that Giannis is better than he ever was. And Shaq's right. He's right. He can't do half the stuff that Giannis could do. He couldn't finish around the rim like that. He couldn't contort his body, hang in the air. Like, Shaq was all power and he could dunk, and once in a while he could make a shot. And people raved about how dominant he was. Giannis is dominant like that, but also he's the best finisher on the team. We've seen Drew Holiday can't make those finishes inside. Right? How many layups did he miss? Giannis is making all of them. He makes the layups. He makes the dunks. He makes the fadeaway jumpers. He made the floaters. He did everything. So shut up. I don't understand it. Sorry, I had to get a little mad about that.
And I know that there's a little bit of talk about the whole Batman Robin thing. It's silly. Giannis is Superman. It's beyond Batman and Robin. I mean, Middleton is good, and now you can't, the question of he's good enough to be the second best player in a championship team is obviously the answer to that is yes. But I mean, Giannis is the heart and soul of that team, and by far the best player, I think, in the whole league.
I mean, how can you not say that? I mean, just because he doesn't do some of the things like some of the other guys, I would push back just what I said and say those guys don't do some of the things that he does.
Yeah.
So I don't understand.
I mean, Durant's good and LeBron's good, and the other guys are good. It's not knocking them. It's just Giannis just plays with such effort on every single play.
That too. I said this after his finals. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to sit there and compare right away and all this stuff. But what I said right away was no one has ever played a better finals than him. Not just that last game. No one has ever played a better NBA finals series than him. Maybe there's something that are right up there, whatever, it's comparable, but no one's ever played better than that in the biggest stage of the whole league. And this was his first time there. And no one's ever played harder than that guy either. So I don't know.
He's the man.
The man.
The problem is most basketball fans don't look at the entire game. they look at scoring points. And that's why, people want to score points. People love the guys that score all the points. They especially like it when a guy can shoot, right? When a guy doesn't shoot well from the free throw line and he's not an outside shooter, and then you watch the game and you're like, how did he get 50 points? Well, because he goes to the basket, he does things like that. It's hard to pick that apart, when people are saying, well, he doesn't shoot. He's not Steph Curry. He's not KD. He's not even LeBron, blah, blah, blah. But the bottom line is the guy he does all the things. He scores and he plays defense and he is the leader of the team. And, that's another thing. I don't know if you guys watched some of the interviews. I watched some of the interviews on NBA TV after the game, and they had Pat Connaughton and Bobby Portis on at the same time. And they talked to Bobby Portis, and he was saying how I had to change my thinking. He's like, there's no plays run for me here. He's like, my job is to clean up stuff and then try to score if I can. Where other places I've been, I've had plays run for me. But I know that sometimes you look at the box score and it might not show that I did much in the box score. But if you watch the game, you'll see that I did all I could to help this team win. And same thing with Pat is what he was saying. And Pat said the same thing. He's like, Pat, yeah, he's like, I didn't score any points tonight, but I got 8 rebounds or whatever he had. And he's like, and I'm running around and I'm doing stuff and I'm getting my hands in the passing lane and all this kind of stuff. And that's the thing is Giannis does that stuff as well as plays defense and scores and leads the team and plays all those minutes. So he's almost like, he's like the hustle guy mixed with the superstar. He's almost like 2 guys in one. And you can't say that for anybody else. Not Steph Curry, not KD, not LeBron, not all those guys. Because they don't do the hustle hype stuff. They're scorers. Or maybe they're defensive players. Or in LeBron's case, he's like a facilitator who can also score and whatever. But he doesn't have the hustle. Where Giannis is almost like 2 guys. He's like Darvin Ham mixed with Ray Allen. Ray Allen can't shoot. All right, he's Darvin Ham mixed with Big Dog. No, he's Darvin Ham mixed with Tim Thomas. That's what he is. That's what he is. So if you have 2 guys in one, you're playing 6 on 5. You're going to win. There you go.
There you go. The other thing I think is pretty remarkable is that Giannis, okay, I was thinking this in my mind. I just thought of it. I was like, all right, Giannis shot 89.5% from the free throw line, right? Which no one expected. He probably didn't even expect it. No one expected it. And then I was like 85.9 or 89.5. I'm like, did he harness the power of someone else on that evening, which I think might be this guy? And I looked at his career free throw percentage, 89.4%. So Giannis shot in the finals, game 6, better than Walter Ray Allen shot from the free throw line for his career. That's amazing, guys. That's freaking amazing.
He's wearing his number.
Yeah,
that's another reason why it took me a while to like Giannis, to be honest, because I was a big Ray fan. And then Giannis showed up and he's got a Ray's number. And I'm like, wait a minute, you can't just give this guy Ray's number. Ray is like the best in my viewing as being a Bucks fan for the 25 years prior to Giannis getting there. Ray Allen was the best Buck I'd ever seen.
It was awesome.
And then they went and give Giannis his number. I was kind of like, wait, whoa. You know what I mean? That'd be like giving, Paul Horning's number to somebody or something like that. You know what I mean? It's kind of shocking. It was shocking to me. So it took me a while to be like, wait a minute, this Giannis guy. But another thing, a lot of the, national media said is it's impossible to not root for Giannis because he's such an awesome guy. There's even guys like Stephen A. Smith who who've been covering Chris Paul's career for 16 years and really wanted Chris Paul to win, he's like, well, what can I say? It's like when you watch Giannis, he's such an awesome guy. I'm happy for Giannis too. I'm disappointed for Chris Paul, but super excited for Giannis because he's just that kind of guy. He's the kind of guy where you can root for. That's the other thing about this Bucks team.
Whole
This
team.
championship team is a bunch of guys who are unselfish and work together. It's like the epitome of what you always want to see as a fan, especially as, you know, me and Jason for sure, and Nico probably, I don't know. But we always like the team aspect, the underdogs, the guys who, you know, have to work their butts off to get ahead. And it's like this entire Bucks team is a bunch of guys who had to work their butts off to get ahead. Every one of them, from Middleton, who's he's a main scorer, but he's a second round pick who had to go down to the D League and come back up again just to even get play time, right? You got Drew Holiday, who made All-Star team once or twice or whatever, but that's about it. And he had to come in and do some stuff. Giannis had to come from nowhere, you know, and have like really no skill other than just pure athleticism, and then learn how to play basketball. And then all the other guys are just, you know, hustle guys who come in and, like I said, like Bobby Porter said, it changed the way he thought. You know, I no longer run plays for me. I now have to, you know, get things where I can and help my teammates out. And it's just an awesome group of guys who are unselfish. And because of that, they defeated a bunch of teams that had super teams, and then, you know, they get injured or whatever it is. And it was cool to watch a team that didn't need to have that super team thing. You could actually watch a team of guys that played together. And the weirdest thing, the one thing I liked the best was there were times where they showed that, like, the Suns had a better field goal percentage, had a better 3-point percentage, and they would still lose all those games. And they were tight games, but they lost because why? Because the Bucks got offensive rebounds. The Bucks didn't turn the ball over as much. The Bucks played together and tried their hardest, even though they weren't shooting great. They played pretty good defense most of the time. And the Suns were shooting the ball awesome. But you just can't win on shooting alone. It takes a team effort, and that was the difference. So the Bucks had a team effort led by Giannis, and the Suns had Booker. Push off Booker. Wow. Apparently, there's no offensive fouls for pushing off.
Oh, except
like, is this Michael Jordan reincarnated? I was like, what?
Except late in that game, coming down the fourth quarter, Super Pat got one called on him.
I know. I was shocked. I told Nick earlier when that happened, I was like, "That's it. Bucks are winning." if Pat can get an offensive charge call on Booker, Bucks are winning. Sorry.
He set him up. He knew what he was gonna do, and he's like, "All right, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna let him do this and get really aggressive, and then I'll take that last one, and then I'll, hit the deck, and it'll probably be a foul on me." I mean, Super Pat has gotten hit in the face with elbows. He got kneed in the nards twice in the playoffs, and the fouls every time were called on him. On him, you get kneed in the private, and the fouls on you. Like, come on, man.
Well, Pat had one where he did get hit in the mouth, and then he did an acting job of falling to the ground.
He learned it,
and he got the call.
Yeah, he's got the call.
Way to do it.
Once in a while.
Pat had a couple. Took some offensive fouls
at the parade. PJ Tucker. I didn't go to the parade, but I watched on TV. PJ Tucker was saying what Ben was saying, that when he came to the team, they were talking about how they need some dogs in there. The old was it Jamal Williams was talking about who's got the dog in him and all that.
Yeah.
And PJ Tucker said when he went in the locker room, he's like, everybody's a dog here. They're all dogs. He's like, the whole team is just a bunch of getting after it guys that aren't scared of anything, and they didn't need anybody to be an extra dog because every one of them has got the dog.
That's what Jamal Williams always wanted to know too, how much dog you got in you.
PJ Tucker said they all had it.
Yeah, that's good. I think, okay, so Pat is awesome. I love him. He bricked every shot. He was so off in game 6. I mean, when he got to the line late, he bricked those free throws. It was like, holy crap, you just can't shoot today. But he did a bunch of other stuff, and he played good defense, and he hustled around, did his thing. And then one other guy that was kind of, a little maligned in the game and in the series because he got fewer minutes was my guy Brolo. And I got to say, when I saw the replay of this right here, I'm going to show you. I couldn't believe it. Look at how freaking high he is on this dunk. Dude, I know he's 7 feet tall, but look at where his hand and the ball are. It's amazing. That was like third quarter when they were coming back, and this gave him a 3-point lead, but that was like cut down the lane. Holiday was on the baseline, drew a double team. Giannis stayed out top because I think he was tired, and Brook just went for it. Finally got a pass and threw it down.
Well, there was a point in the third quarter there where Lopez kind of helped bring him back. I mean, he was making shots and playing good defense on the other end. And that was the part that was cool, was they had that terrible second quarter where they couldn't, I mean, they scored 4 points or whatever in like 8 minutes. It was god awful.
It was bad.
But then Bobby Portis showed up in the third quarter and Lopez showed up in the third quarter, and those guys kind of brought him back. And then Giannis, took it from there, and it was just awesome. It was awesome. And
it was a really good series.
It's crazy. Yeah.
I mean, all the games, there was no like 40-point blowouts, and there's nothing that was dead. Most of the games had in the fourth quarter, either team could win, which, gave me a heart attack some of the times, but it was a good one. If you win a close game, it's exciting, right? So that's fun. I did, a couple of the Suns individually kind of ticked me off a little bit as we were watching, but I do want to say that the Phoenix coach, Monty Williams, is a class act.
Yeah.
He was a really good guy. He's had some rough stuff going on in his life that it's my understanding he really shined as being a good person when he had some bad stuff happen in his personal life. And I saw him congratulating the Bucks in there, when they were celebrating after the game. He was coming up to them and saying how, usually you kind of be ticked off or something like that if you lost at the biggest chance you ever had. And he's, saying thank you for making me a better coach and stuff like that, because he's going to learn from the series, and gave the Bucks a lot of credit. So I gotta give him a shout out for being a real class guy.
Williams for sure was, and I don't think he endorsed some of the Jay Crowder, Chris Paul antics that went on repeatedly, including the somersault in that game 6 where, Chris Paul goes up, PJ Tucker's trailing him. I don't even think he touched his jersey. He like totally stopped so he wouldn't bump into him. And then Chris Paul actually went up and down after the shot, and then like jumped off the floor after he landed, and then did a somersault and got the foul call on that one. That was classic Chris Paul right there.
There's a lot of the Suns are cheap. Okay.
Yeah. Not because of their head coach, though. I don't think Williams endorses any of that stuff.
Okay, but who teaches that?
Chris Paul.
That 25. What's that guy? The little guy, 25. Remember when he got
Kel
a ball,
Bridges.
He was dribbling up the court, and Giannis was behind him, and he knew Giannis was behind him. And he looked, and he kind of stopped, and then Giannis ran into him, and then he called the foul on Giannis. That's the kind of crap
that's Chris Paul coached right there.
That's the James Harden crap.
Trae Young did that a lot. Not this Bucks series, but during the season he did it a lot.
That's the other part. The Bucks get all this stuff happen like that, and they don't sit there and whine to the refs the whole time like other teams too. That's another reason you should like the Bucks. I don't care if you're like casual NBA fan or you like some other team and they didn't make it. Like anybody that isn't happy for this team, like it's just an awesome team with awesome guys, and they play the right way. And all the stuff they went through, like I detailed the other day, it's like the road they've taken. They just never stop. Like they might play like crap at sometimes, and admittedly they do, but they just don't stop trying. Other teams like shut it down or just like, meh, whatever. It's not our night. This team, they just keep going. Just keep going and stuff will turn around. That's the one thing I think it's interesting to like hear people talk about football. Football is different, right? Because football, it's a 1-game thing. Like if you suck that day or if you suck for too long in that one game, you're kind of toast. In basketball, because of the series, okay, you can have a crappy game and it's okay. You don't have to think, oh my God, the series is over. The other team, like hearing the analysts and like the media reaction and a lot of fan reaction after like 1 or 2 games. I mean, 2 games of the finals, everyone's like, oh, the Bucks can't do this. They can't do that. No way. The Suns they just can't keep up with them. They can't, whatever. And I was like, hold on a minute. The Suns shot 24 or 25 free throws in the first game, which will never happen again. And they shot 50% from 3 in the second game, which wasn't going to happen again. And at the same time, Middleton and Holiday really stunk it up in those first 2 games offensively. I'm like, they're not going to do that every game. So yeah, the Bucks can win. They can turn it around. They can win. Now, I didn't know Holiday was going to try to do it again in the last game, but he did have great defense. He bothered Booker. He bothered Paul. Like, he messed those guys up a bit because they didn't shoot well in this last game either. And the other thing I think that really changed during the series from those first 2 games to later on is all of a sudden the Suns stopped playing like a team. Devin Booker was like, I'm going to be the man. I'm going to take the shots. I'm going to do all this stuff, which is the reason why he got himself into that position to get the strip in game 5 from Holiday, because there were 3 guys on him and he didn't stop to not take a shot until Giannis had his big mitt like right in front of his face. And then he couldn't shoot it. And then Holiday's right behind him and strips it away. That's another one of these plays where Giannis like stops the shot or blocks the shot. And then he's the guy on the other end making the basket, which is just insane. Like, that dude can cover so much ground so fast. It's ridiculous. But that I think was another big key. Cause remember those first couple games, the Suns were like passing the ball around, right? Shooting the ball well, cause they're passing around, moving around. And then all of a sudden it was like, hey, let's get it to Booker and he's going to dribble it all the time. And maybe he'll pass to somebody, but he's probably going to shoot it. And so if I was like one of the Bucks defenders, I would take my chance and bet he was going to shoot it. And they did, and they made him pay. So that was a big change too. So that's what I think about all that. Other than that, it's amazing for the city of Milwaukee. Nico, tell me, how in the heck can I looked up the old thing because 1 month ago, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was on like the jump or whatever it was. Kareem, big Bucks guy now, and was asked point blank from Rachel Nichols, well, do you think this, this Bucks team can win the championship? Do you think this year? Do you think they're capable? It wasn't a prediction. It was like, do you think they're capable of winning the championship this year? And he just said, no. KD is going to kill those guys. KD and the Nets are going to, they can't do anything. They can't keep up with those guys. They can't take them. And then fast forward to the finals, Kareem's an all Bucks guy. Oh, Bucks are going to win.
That's because he was in Milwaukee. He had to say that.
How does that work?
Because that's people change their minds. You didn't think that the Nets were super hyped before the season started. Everybody thought the Nets were going to dominate everybody. But the whole question mark the whole time was, could those 3 guys play together? And turns out they only played about 9 games together all season long. So we still don't know what the Nets officially are. They're the favorites for next year.
I'm pretty sure it wasn't everybody that thought that. I'm pretty sure there are 3 guys on the screen right now that didn't necessarily think the Nets were like the odds-on favorite.
The Nets are, I believe, the odds-on favorite to win the title next year. Right now, today, because people think that they're so great. Predictions are predictions. Charles Barkley is frequently wrong always. And this year he was all Bucks. He's like, the Bucks are going to win. The Bucks are going to sweep Miami. The Bucks are going to blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, oh no, he's picking the Bucks all the time. It's not great. But then sure enough, he's like, hey, I called it. The Bucks won. So he had the Bucks the whole time. And then his last 47 predictions were wrong, but then the Bucks prediction was right. So then you're like, look at me. I'm the best at picking. So what sportscasters are about less correct than the weatherman, but they, whenever you get one right, you just got to trumpet it.
Yeah, you're right. You just keep acting like what you said 2 days ago you never said.
I saw Cowherd. I don't watch the Cowherd. I know we talk about it, but I saw him saying that Giannis is without a doubt the best face of the league now. And then someone said, is this you? And it was like 2 weeks ago, he listed the top 10 players in the playoffs, and Giannis was in the top 10 players in the playoffs. Like after the first round, like starting in the second round of the playoffs, who are the 10 best players left? And he didn't have Giannis as a top 10 guy.
Did he have any buck on him?
No.
Okay.
He didn't have any buck. He didn't have any Bucks, any Giannis as a top 10 player left in the playoffs after round 1 of the playoffs. And now he's saying that Giannis is the face of the league. And it's like, does anybody remember like 2 weeks ago when you said he wasn't one of the 10 best players in the playoffs? No, you just say whatever you want and move on.
I gotta give some shout outs. Butter's here. Hey Butter, how you doing? Mom, Dad, Ekis says his highlights were Giannis's defense and his blocks were like unbelievable, which were freaking crazy.
Yeah, it was awesome.
That last game, he was like, forget it. You were not losing. I mean, he just did whatever it took so they say they weren't going to lose. And Rick is out in Washington Island checking in quick. How you doing, Rick? Well, then let me ask you this question: if everybody loves, because I don't know, they used to like dunks a lot, and Giannis dunks a lot, but then he gets criticized that he dunks too much, or that's not that skillful.
He never
He didn't-
dunked too much.
He didn't even dunk that much. I mean, he dunks some awesome
He
ones,
doesn't-
and
he
then
doesn't
he
dunk
does
so much.
some amazing finishes around guys because that's what he has to do. But if people love people that make jump shots so much, then why don't people tout Chris Middleton a little bit more? Because that's what he does. He did have a breakaway dunk. I think that was like his first dunk of the season in Game 6. I never see Chris Middleton dunk hardly ever, right? And he got that breakaway where he actually dunked it. I thought he was going to finger roll, but he slammed.
He can dunk. He can dunk.
I know he can. I'm just saying, like, if they love people that shoot jumpers all the time, well, then why don't they love Chris Middleton more?
They like it when people love it when you make like, 9 straight 3-pointers like Booker did in that one game where they couldn't stop him. Like, then they go, oh, look at this guy. He's heating up. Oh, he's shooting from the half court line. Oh, blah, 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 blah. Everybody loves it when you get all that stuff. And it's cool, That's why, a Giannis 50 points looks different than a Steph Curry's 50 points, right?
Yeah.
So, when you're just out there hitting threes from all these different angles, it's not the same as a guy getting offensive rebound and like tap in and then pick and roll and you lay it in and all that stuff. So, I don't know. It's hard to say what people like, but people can't disrespect Giannis anymore. I mean, you can say certain things, but when you got that champion next to your name, it puts you at a whole nother level and everybody knows it.
He said he made his free throws. He's a freaking champion.
Yeah. It was kind of similar to the Will Chamberlain 100-point game where Will was always a terrible free throw shooter, but then that one game he made 26 free throws. Like he was like a 50% free throw shooter that went like 26 for 26 that game or something crazy like that.
Feeling it.
Right. So
hey, the other question I got for Ben here is this. Ben, Nick and I were talking about this because there were some live swears that went out over broadcast media, and Nick and I couldn't figure out why they didn't have a delay on there. What was going on there? No delay.
How would
to
I
catch the
know
swear?
that? I don't know.
Well, I mean, if that's the way they're going to run it, they could never let you on there.
Oh, why would I?
Wow, who knows? Who knows what could happen in the future? You never know. That's why you plan. You need to have a delay if you're going to have. I mean, come on, these guys are all jacked up. They got through all this stuff. They might drop an F in there or something. You never know, right? No delay, or some guy to push a button, emergency panic button. Somebody swears.
Man, ABC, I don't know who that girl was that was presenting the trophies. I'd never seen that chick before in my life. She looked like she was like 20 years old.
I guess Malika Andrews or something. These are her first finals, I think.
Yeah, but I mean, don't they have like somebody more this is the NBA championship game.
Yeah,
doesn't ESPN have like a solid
They're transferring it over here. They're transferring it over. But the one thing I was confused by is Adam Silver. Like, yeah, I thought he should have a little more fire. It was their first championship in 50 years, dude. I thought he was a little kind of flat.
As excited as Adam Silver gets, I think.
Come on, man. He could have been a little more fired up here.
He's like a robotic, weird looking guy, whatever.
He's done a lot of good stuff with the league.
All right,
I'll
Bucks
give him
are
credit
good.
for that.
Are you going to the Pack or what?
All right. Anyway, it's pretty awesome. It's not pretty awesome. It's amazing. I mean, I'm 45. I'm 45, and it's been 50 years since the Bucks won. So hopefully I see more than one championship in my life. What's the serious Packer news? What is it? Ekis, do you know? What is it? Is it just that Devontae's not going to be on the Packers anymore after this year?
Let me ask you all.
We knew that already. We knew that already.
You got to sit back here.
We knew Devontae wasn't going to be there.
Question. We just talked about the Bucks, right? The championship Bucks.
Oh,
I'm talking.
Okay.
We just talked about the championship Bucks and how they're a bunch of awesome guys who work hard. They're not superstars, right? And that's how you win a championship, right? And there's one superstar wide receiver who wants to be paid $28-29 million a year.
Ooh.
Let me think about that for a second. We could pay
Robert some 10-yard passes,
Lazard, MVS. We could pay all three of those guys big contracts, in the same amount that we have to pay Devontae. And we'd have a better team with 3 guys who could take advantage of mismatches instead of 1 guy who could get double teamed and then not do anything. Any Packer fan who thinks Devontae should be signed to the highest paid receiver in the NFL needs to wake up. Devontae needs to be gone and traded, hopefully, soon. And then we can pay the guys that need to be paid, like Jair, Robert Tonyan, MVS, Lazard. Yeah. What do you think about that? Nico,
you want Devontae to be signed a big fat contract at age 31 or whatever he is?
Well, this will make Ben happy, but I think it makes a difference who the quarterback is.
Come on, Devontae.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. What if it's not Rodgers? And what if Rodgers has made Devontae? Then we give Devontae $29 million a year, which is more than
that's just too much.
90% of quarterbacks make.
Then we're gonna have
that's stupid.
If we have Love and Bortles, then Tonyan is gonna have 400 yards and 3 touchdowns, and Lazard's gonna have 200 yards and no touchdowns, and MVS will have 0 touchdowns, and it won't really matter.
Yeah, but you know what? Aaron Jones is going to have 27 touchdouldowns,
he's
and
going to have 700 yards and
the sauce will have another 12 touchdowns.
That I hope is true.
And the Packers will be the number 1 rushing team in the NFL this year.
Wow, they'll go 70 30, right? 70% rush, 30% pass.
70% rushing. Yep. Mark my words.
He's going to have an Edgar Bennett season of 370 carries for 902 yards.
No.
Oh no. Hey, well, okay. I wanted to get into something positive about the Packers, but I guess we got to talk about this real quick. So that's absolutely not anything you should do is pay a wide receiver that much. I don't care. Like people talk about paying running backs and you shouldn't pay running backs. I don't know why you should pay. I mean, okay. If Devontae was like coming off of his rookie contract and he was at the level he's at now, and you want to say, okay, he's like mid-20s and we want to sign him for a big contract for 4 or 5 years. Okay, fine. I get it. But he's like 30. He's like 31. He's going to be 31 or something by the time. He's already not fast. So, and he's already had injuries a bunch of times. We talked about it. And I love Devontae. He makes amazing plays. He totally does. He's very good.
And he drops touchdowns in the NFC Championship game.
I know everybody drops them except, like Robert Tonyan really doesn't, but most other guys drop them. But you got to weigh it. I mean, the young guys coming in all the time. There's new guys. There's spots in the NFL where you can find new guys to come in and be dynamic. Receiver is one of those. Running back usually is one of those, although the Packers are really bad at finding good running backs. So when they get one, they should probably hang on to them. But quarterbacks is not one. So that's the argument for trying to figure it out with Rodgers. And the other thing is, like old linemen, the Packers really aren't very good at figuring out old linemen. They're good at getting the guys. They're not good at drafting old linemen. Let me say that. So when they invest like a pick in them, the guy usually isn't that good. But when they pick him off the scrap heap, then the guy's good. So again, I think it's who's ever in the scouting department for the linemen, the people that do like the late rounds or the undrafted guys and scout those guys know what's up. And the guys who are at the top that are like, yeah, Brian Bulaga is going to be awesome. No, he's not going to be awesome. He's going to be average at best. So anyway, that's the deal with some positions. But wide receiver, you can't pay a wide receiver that much. That's crazy. That's totally crazy.
So
that'd be how much more?
List the 10 best players in the NFL, and 2 of them were Packers.
Who did that?
A recent list of the 10 best players in the NFL, and 2 of them were Packers.
Oh, who are they?
Who are they?
Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams.
They're not going to be Packers anymore.
So if we're going to lose 2 of the 10 best players in the league this year, it's going to be rough.
No, it's not. They're both overrated. They both suck.
No, they do not suck. They do a lot of things.
Okay, they
well.
don't both suck, but they're both
Devontae
overrated.
Adams does a lot of good stuff. Come on. He makes a lot of good plays, and there's a lot of good things about him, but because
Packers are undefeated without Devontae Adams in the lineup.
I understand, but because he lacks the speed element at a speed position, he is not worth that much money, especially at this stage of his career, because he's only going to slow down a little bit. So I don't know what he went into these talks thinking, like he was going to be overpaid, outbidding like Hopkins or whatever and make more than him. Like, come on, man, that's crazy. If he would have gone into it with more reasonable expectations, he probably would have got a deal done. The Packers would have offered him a lot of money. He could have finished his career there, but it's not going to happen now. It's just not.
Well, it might still happen. They have until March.
Come on. Devontae says it all the time. I think I'm the best receiver in the league. I'm the best guy that ever lived and that played receiver in the league. I got the greatest. I mean, he's an awesome dude and he's super smart. And I like the way his brain works with football. I like the way that he thinks about it. I like he's into the details. All that makes a difference at the highest level, but he also lives in kind of this elevated reality where he thinks somehow he's the best receiver in the league, and he's not. He's just not.
All I know is this. David Bakhtiari wanted to be the highest paid left tackle, and he got it. Kenny Clark wanted to be the highest paid interior defensive lineman when he signed, and he got it. Aaron Rodgers wants to be the highest paid quarterback, and he turned it down.
He doesn't want to be that.
Devontae Adams wants to be the highest paid wide receiver, and he better not get it. That's pretty selfish. That's a lot of selfish jerks, if you ask me. And there's one guy who took less money to come back and be awesome, and is the new leader of the Packers.
Billy Turner?
Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones is the Giannis of the pack. He's the Giannis of the pack. And you know what he is. You know he is.
I'd let him go.
Oh my God.
Come on. You want me to go through the list of running backs they have that have not been good for a very long time?
I don't want to go through that.
It's a long list. It's a long list.
Ready to go. The sauce.
The sauce is mild. It's not hot sauce, all right? You need hot sauce to fill in there if you're going to let go of a guy that's that dynamic.
Mom, you gotta what?
Did
you see Aaron and Bakhtiari practicing today? Aaron who?
Aaron Jones. Aaron Campman. Aaron Campman's coming back.
Hank Aaron.
Who is practicing what? What were they practicing? Who is this? Mom, you need to elaborate in the text is here.
We'll get to that. Did you also see Matt LaFleur was unconcerned that Bakhtiari's been slamming so many beers at Bucs games? He's like, Dave knows how to take care of himself. He'll be fine. He was asked by some reporter
He's at the game 6.
Yeah, it was a stupid question. They asked him about, aren't you concerned about him chugging so many beers at Bucs games? And he's like,
I don't think offensive lineman's a bad position to be chugging beers.
Is that Nagler who asked that one?
It's good for them to be. It's good for offensive linemen to chug beers.
So did you see the other news? Shailene Woodley and her mother liked and retweeted.
That's not Packers talk.
Stephen A. Smith saying it's not that hard. Rodgers just doesn't want to be in Green Bay. And she liked and retweeted Shailene Woodley.
Not Packers talk.
That's Packers information.
How's that?
As Stephen
A.
A.
Smith
Smith
who actually knows what Aaron Rodgers is thinking tweeted and liked the fact that Rodgers doesn't want to be in Green Bay.
Oh,
come on.
We know that, but that's because Mark Murphy goes away. It's all fine.
Mom says Aaron Rodgers and David Bakhtiari were practicing today. What were they practicing?
Practicing
basketball?
maybe some basketball.
Fucking beers.
Maybe Rodgers. Rodgers. That's another thing. Basketball is his favorite sport. He just was too short to play it, and he was better.
That's
at football.
another thing. You can just.
It sucks.
You and Aaron Rodgers are like the same guy.
Don't get him started.
I think it sucks that. I think it really does suck that this crap all went down, and then the Bucs won the title. You know, when he bought in with the team and all this stuff. I will give him the nod though for like not making an appearance at the game because he knew it would detract from, the team and all that stuff that was going on with all the.
Are you sure he just didn't go because he knew he'd get his butt booed the whole time?
No, he didn't go because he didn't want to make it about him. He didn't want to take it.
He'd get his butt booed.
Game 4, I would cheer.
You're the only guy.
I would cheer him too.
Darius too.
You guys hate Za'Darius? I was cheering for him.
I don't hate Za'Darius.
You cheering for Za'Darius?
I want Za'Darius to play.
He was waving the towel, standing on his chair. I was like,
I want him to show that effort when he's going on the football field.
That's all I
The
want.
same sort of energy and effort, not slacking off and being a putz like he was a
All
bunch
right,
of times
so-
last year.
So now we need to go into your Packer, the thing you sent me.
All right, positives. Positive Packer. Okay, positive Packer. Although there is one thing I have to say before we go to positive Packer. Now, we just witnessed the Bucks win an NBA championship for the first time in 50 years, and why? Why? Because the Bucks went all in as they could get, because they can't get certain guys to come to Milwaukee, and they knew that. They traded away half the team to get Drew Holiday for an upgrade at guard. They invested money in Pat Connaughton to keep him around because they knew he was important. They traded for Tucker. They got Bobby Portis. They're over the luxury tax. They're paying extra money because they knew it would help them win. And it did. And our other team, the Packers, never go all in. Never. And so we're still waiting on another Super Bowl appearance.
They did this offseason.
No, they didn't.
They signed back everybody. They restructured all the contracts.
That's because they were in trouble. That's because they were in trouble. Bubble.
They're just waiting for Aaron Rodgers to sign the dotted line so they can get more cap space to get even more guys. But Rodgers won't do it. Rodgers won't do it, Nico.
He won't, because it's not about money, dude. No,
doesn't care about money.
that's not the problem. The
I know it's
problem is
the people.
the problem is the Murphy and the Murphy and the Murphy. You just insert Murphy every time you said people, and you're all set. You're all set there. Now, we did have a guy who checks out our videos a lot, Sean, who asked us a question since we talked about Rodgers for a little bit. We'll answer the question and then we'll get into positive Packers. He said, if Rodgers isn't on the team this year, who do you want? Love or Bortles in there as your quarterback? Nico.
I've never seen Love throw a pass. I have seen Bortles throw a pass.
It's not.
So I'll say Love. I'll go Love.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Bortles. You know what you're going to get with Bortles. Love is a question mark. So he might have higher potential. Maybe he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. I don't know, but I'm a little concerned that he's not, because the Packers haven't told Rodgers to get lost as of yet.
They offered him more money after all the
maybe the people that have seen Love throw passes are like, maybe we made a mistake here. But I'm still on team. I would like to see Rodgers be the quarterback, and I would like to see, Titletown is cool. Aaron Rodgers is the Giannis of our team, and we need him to be here to win.
He's not certainly. I mean, he's as important to the team as Giannis. He's not as good a person as Giannis. We do know that, but few people are. Few humans are as good a person as Giannis. God dang it! Now, if we don't watch out, Milwaukee's going to become Titletown. Milwaukee's going to be known as Titletown. I'll take it over from Green Bay.
First place Brew Crew too. We're going for all three this year.
If I could get into baseball, I'd be on there with you, but I just can't. I just can't do it. I just can't get into it.
Triple crown: Bucks, Brewers, Packers.
Holy crap! That's bold. And remember, if it's wrong later on, nobody cares.
Yeah, I'll give you a different prediction later.
Smart move.
Okay.
Right now, I'm predicting all three titles for Wisconsin.
Wow. Bold.
But I might change. Something to change.
All right, Ben. What about you? Do you want to answer that question from Sean?
Not at this time.
All right. I'll take Love over Bortles any day. That's fine. Give him a shot. He's a young kid. I mean, hand the ball off a lot. It'll be fine. Lots of play action. He'll be okay. As long as you keep Billy Turner out the field, it'll be just fine. If you choose to have Billy Turner on the field, it'll be less fine. That's just fact. And if you cut Lucas Patrick before the season starts, then you'll be in more trouble. But that's up to you, Packers. That's your choice.
That'd be your fault for getting the jersey.
God.
There's less and less reports of people saying that they should cut Lucas Patrick, just so you know. Because
those people are dumb and it's wrong
more now, and all of a sudden, like now, you're seeing like people actually study film and know what's going on. Bring up Lucas Patrick as a key player in the team, and how they can't like afford to let him go. Like they've mentioned other veterans that could be cut before Lucas Patrick. And it wasn't just one guy, it was like 2 or 3 different guys. So I think that it started to come around where now the guys actually know what's going on, are now going out and saying, no, Lucas Patrick needs to be here, because if anything, it's going to help Myers out at center, because he's going to have 2 veterans on both sides of him to help him know what's going on. Plus, if Myers stinks, then they can put Patrick in at center and bring in Runyon Bunyan or whatever happens. So it's like there's no way they're going to cut Lucas unless they are really, really dumb.
And if he's wrong, he'll change his mind later.
I won't be wrong.
Unless I go to a training camp and have him sign the jersey, then that'll be the kiss of death. Then they'll
notice Ben said he's gonna be on the team now, that he's gonna start.
Stupid. If he doesn't start, oh my God. The Packers just why do they gotta put me in this spot? I gotta like them, but then they piss me off all the time.
Just like Rodgers. Jason.
Yeah.
What?
The Packers, they put you in a tough spot all the time. You want to be with them, but they just make you mad. You and your twin brother, number 12.
Hey, look, I was gonna say that I was a lot like Giannis too, but he's too good of a guy. He's too good of a guy. He's so much better of a guy than me. I mean, he's awesome.
You should say Giannis is like me. That would be the real way to say it. Not that you're like Giannis.
Classic. All right. What's a positive Packer thing? Here's one thing I want to know. Training camp starts next week. Ben, what?
Yes.
Give me one, not 100. Give me one training camp battle or position or player. So either a training camp position battle or a player that you're really excited to see this training camp and see what they do.
Well, considering that Rodgers won't be there, the battle I'm really excited to see is the Blake Bortles Jordan Love battle for starter for the Pack. I can't wait. Will they go with the veteran with a noodle arm, but he's got familiarity with Nathaniel Hackett, or will they go with the young guy with all the potential and see what can happen? That's the battle I want to see, because Rodgers isn't going to be a Packer. At least I hope. I'm putting my fingers in, hoping he's not going to be a Packer. And then therefore, that's the battle I want to see. So I'm excited about that battle. Nickel, what's your favorite battle?
Right. Jesus, Nick, go ahead.
I, as a real journalist, would like to say that the cornerback battle between Stokes and Kenny King, I would like to see. I hope that Stokes is so good that they put him on the field immediately. I don't know if that's the case or not. I don't know. Again, I don't watch a lot of college football. I don't know anything about how good Stokes is, but I know how good King is. And I would like to see Stokes play well enough and the Packers coaching staff recognize it, that Stokes maybe gets the nod, pretty early in the season. Maybe he's just so overwhelmingly better that they start him game 1.
I guess makes a good point about what's actually been said by Rodgers and what hasn't, but Ben keeps going on the same thing. And
Rodgers hasn't said anything.
That's right. So why you got to be so mad at him? You're just going off all this media speculation and all this other stuff.
I don't want Rodgers or Devontae Adams on this team, period, anymore.
How about one more year? They can try to win a Super Bowl.
I don't want either of them anymore.
Then they can blow it up next year and go to your run-only offense next year. Save Aaron Jones' legs this year. How about that? No? Okay.
Let's do Eric. We just paid Aaron Jones the money. Let's give him the ball. Let's get AJ Dillon in there.
All right.
Here's another thing that makes me mad.
Okay.
I watched.
Well, I thought we were going on positive things.
ESPN did the top 10 tight ends going into 2021 season.
All right.
They mentioned a bunch of guys.
Irv Smith Jr. in there.
Robert Tonyan. Not only that, he wasn't even honorable mention. They mentioned 3 other guys. So they mentioned 13 tight ends. Robert Tonyan was not one of the 13 tight ends. The guy who had 11 touchdowns last year. over 500 yards receiving. Are you kidding me?
The best player in the league throwing it to him.
Ugh.
Let's see what happens now.
I think he can still be a productive tight end, and that's where a younger quarterback will look
Not
oftentimes.
when Bortles
But
throwing it off his feet all day.
Bortles will look in the middle. It's a shorter throw. He might do it. He'll throw more picks, lots of picks, but he'll get some receptions in there too. So,
Well, bounce a few.
maybe.
Well, we'll see what happens on Tuesday. Who shows up for practice and who don't.
Well, obviously there's a player I'd love to see, which is Lukey Patrick, but I don't think there's even going to be a battle because I think the Packers are going to wise up and be like, oh man, he's really good. So there's not going to be a battle there. I don't think. The battle I'm super excited to see is inside backer. If my man Ty Summers actually gets a shot, because if he gets a shot, I think he's going to show up everybody and work his way as a starter at inside linebacker.
They'll get a shot in training camp. We'll see what happens week 1.
If they evaluate them fairly, I think he's the best guy they got.
Lee, who often listens to our show, left some comments on Blue 58's podcast he did about the inside linebackers because he talked about Ty Summers for all of 10 seconds.
10 seconds
as a guy who's going to be a special teams contributor and who's more athletic than Owen Burks, but that's about it. And Lee wrote back and said, Ty Summers is like more athletic and the best coverage guy on the team at linebacker. And he's the guy who needs to be playing more over all these other guys. And, Lee, we all agree with you if you're listening or if you watch later or whatever. I agree with everything he said there. And that's how Lee found us he found us with the Billy Turner video, but he also agrees with the Ty Summers stuff. And I agree. It'd be awesome to see Ty Summers out there. But I don't know. Some guys just don't get to play. So we'll see what the new head coach does, but all the position coaches are still the same. So if they make their decision to play the same guys they played last year, Will Redmond, for what reason nobody knows, right? What are we gonna do?
I'm just hoping with the new D coordinator that Barry's a linebackers guy. I'm hoping that he sees it and makes the call and says, or if they give him enough opportunities to play preseason with like ones or, twos sometimes or whatever, as the main guy calling the plays on the, the Mike linebacker, he won't be denied. He's too good. He's too skilled. Like, yeah, he might miss tackle or two. We've already talked about all that. His missed tackle rate was almost exactly the same as Barnes, and they rave about Barnes. And then people criticize him, and I'm like, okay, except he's way faster, way more athletic, way more impactful, and he is about as same good a tackler as Barnes is, who you say is awesome. So come on. And I like Barnes. Barnes is solid. He's fine. But he's like a downgrade from Blake Martinez. And we need an impact guy in the middle for a freaking change. And Ty Summers could be that guy. So that's what I'm excited to see, if Ty Summers actually gets a shot. Ega says positive is the Pack will win the division regardless if AR is there or not. Thunder and Lightning plus Tunyon equals 10 wins. I don't know. All the other division teams are excited for the possibility of Aaron Rodgers not being there. I'll tell you that. The Vikings think they got a good shot. If Rodgers isn't there, I don't know. I will tell you this. If Rodgers is not there and the Packers win 10 or 11 games out of the 17-game schedule, which is going to be weird to figure out and adjust to, that's going to be one hell of a coaching job by Matt LaFleur and his staff if they get all that done. But we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. I'm still pulling for some of my guys. My man Lukey gets another year starting under his belt. Hopefully he can play out his contract. I don't know if it's up after this year, if there's supposed to be one more year on. I think it's only just this year, right? I think.
I don't know.
I can't remember about that, but either way, He's an awesome dude. And then if Ty Summers gets a shot, and the cornerback thing will be interesting. Will Josh Jackson get an opportunity to maybe play? Again, if they hadn't re-signed Kevin King, there would be a lot more flexibility and a lot more opportunity, I think, for guys like Jackson to see, okay, is he gonna be able to step in, get some playing time, and maybe make an impact this year or not? And then you'd see with that first round pick of Stokes. Okay,
They got so many corners right
get
now.
him out
dude.
there.
I mean, Kavian Ento,
I know it's a
what's
lot.
his face? Kadar Holman. You got Josh Jackson. You got the draft pick from the 4th or 5th round. What was his name? The slot.
Yeah, the guy from Appalachian State.
He's like a slot corner. Then you got Shannon Sullivan. You got Kevin King. You got
Shamar Jean Charles.
Shamar Jean Charles, right? And you got Eric Stokes. I mean, you're talking. There's like 7 or 8 different guys that have all been, and that doesn't probably not even all of them. There's probably even more guys. There's a crap ton of corners, and honestly, like I heard a guy today, he's like he thinks Josh Jackson's gone,
right?
Based on all these draft picks, the re-signing Kevin King contract, the way they did it, he can't get cut because it's just dumb. Like it's actually going to cost him more money to cut him than it was to just keep him on the team with that stupid 1-year contract they gave him. But they went the fake years after it or whatever it is, and then so he thinks Josh Jackson will be gone. He thinks Owen Burks will be cut. He thinks who else? A couple other guys, that are veterans will probably be gone. Or he thinks Funches and St. Brown will both be gone because wide receiver. After he thinks that Malik Taylor is a better fit as a 5th receiver because he's a gunner and can do stuff on special teams way more than Funches could do, or St. Brown, who was hurt all the time. So he's thinking with Malik Taylor as your 5th receiver because the Packers probably going to keep 5 tight ends. You know what I mean? So if you keep 5 tight ends, you don't have as many wide receivers then. Well, they got to have big dog because we have
5 tight ends.
Tunyon, right? You got DeGuara. You got what's his face who came in after the end of the year. What was his name? I can't remember. Forgot his name.
Daphne, you got to run that big boy offense.
Right.
Big boy offense.
They're going to have 5 tight ends make the team.
And you're going to pay a receiver $29 million when you got 5 tight ends? Come on. No, it's not happening. Sorry, Devontae, you're out, buddy. It's okay, though. It's okay. Come back and try one more time with the Pack this year and see what happens. That's what you guys see. But you're right. I mean, and Taylor, he's different because he's shiftier. He's better at, I think changing directions, doing stuff, and like Funches is the same kind of guy as Lazard, and like except with worse hands, and same thing with St. Brown. He's tall, he doesn't change direction well. Well, great. I mean, we don't need more guys like that. We got enough guys that are tall and can't change direction well. We need some more shifty guys. So I'm excited for the Rodgers kid. I'm excited for if Taylor does make it back, that'd be good. And yeah, I think those are all interesting things to come out of this camp, but we'll see. It starts next week, guys. So, Packers back in. And the Packers are lucky that the Bucks, the NBA season's over. So now people focus on them. Except the Brewers, except it's like halfway through the season. So it's a little too early to get too excited.
Halfway.
How many games left? How many games left before the regular season's done?
It's got to be 60, 70.
All right. Let me know when you get to like 150. And then I'll start paying attention.
Be late September.
All right. Sounds good. Okay. That's all I got for you. Anything else? Parting shot?
Bucks and 6.
Bucks and 6.
Next year.
Always.
Oh.
He's going on next year, Bucks and 6.
One
the future.
Sorry. One quick finish. I recorded this as well.
We're almost done.
One quick finish. It's a Giannis. Another reason you should love and like and love Giannis. Not just like him, but you should love him. Another quick reason why you should love him here. All right. Ready for this? This was a Giannis joke. I don't know if you've ever heard it before. I first heard it today as I was at work, and I didn't want to do work, so I started looking up Giannis and Buck stuff. Sorry, work. Here it is. Ready?
Okay, this is going to be good. You better laugh. I got you. Okay. So, you guys see the new movie Constipation? No? Constipation. It's because he hasn't come out yet.
Poop joke. Of course you love it.
He has the worst jokes.
Poop jokes. You love poop.
Come on. That's so good for Giannis.
I'm surprised you got that one. That's kind of similar to the old shower curtain joke.
Shower curtain joke's way better.
Similar theme.
I'm sorry, Elf, Giannis.
Look
Elf's
how-
a much better comedian than Giannis.
Yeah,
No,
but look how
basketball,
excited he was. Look how excited he was. He got a joke.
Yeah, he was excited.
Come on. And he delivered it well. He was like, hey, it was pretty good, guys. Come on. Another reason you should love Giannis. This is fantastic. Awesome dude, awesome human being. Tells some corny jokes. Lowest rung of comedy. That's the way to go, Giannis. Stay right there, buddy.
What? He likes poop jokes. I wonder if there's anybody else that likes poop jokes.
Me?
Oh, this guy that thinks
Well, this guy just like him.
Giannis,
Yeah,
Giannis
he's-
is
him and Giannis.
Giannis is a lot like Jason.
Aaron Rodgers, Giannis. Who else do you like? Paul Rudd, apparently. That one guy said
Yeah,
it looks like
Paul
Paul
Rudd.
Rudd.
Paul Rudd. I could have been his double.
Why don't you do a top 10 list of athletes and celebrities that are most like you?
I can do it for me.
Have your pretty good list.
Bobby Portis is most like me.
Oh,
Man, it's
If
like,
I get called for a bullcrap foul, I'm running down the freaking court, being all fired up about it too, just like Bobby Portis did.
yeah, but you don't bullcrap foul. You just actually foul.
That's true.
I think I have to think on that one.
All right.
Wait a minute.
Woo.
I want to see it.
Wait a minute.
All right, tomorrow's party time.
already
Tomorrow's
said
time
stop.
to partay. What? What else happened?
That's it. End the show.
What is he
The
going?
most infamous moment in basketball history
Oh,
was that bullcrap call on me when I stripped the guy and the freaking ref called a foul on me.
basketball
Then I almost got
history.
in a fight with that guy after, and his buddies told him not to fight me. Remember?
Nobody tried to fight with you.
Yeah. Well, he didn't. He ran away because he was afraid. Eckes was there.
People can't believe this thing. I guess, can you confirm
You
that?
were there.
I don't remember anybody running away from
We
a fight
almost
with
won
you.
that game. We should have won that game.
Now
We
I
got
know you're lying.
screwed by
You
the
never won
refs.
any games.
We got screwed by the refs.
The only team we ever beat was the other Statesman team.
I know when I wasn't there. No, I was there for that one. Okay, whatever.
all I
left
can
with the championship.
all I can say as a Bucks fan, we went through a bunch of crap, and these two guys and me, we have been fans pretty much since came out. I don't know, since we knew what basketball was. And I
Well-
remember the good old days. Ben kind of wavered a little bit, but even when people, you
Jack
did?
Sigma and Jay Humphreys. were my
Jack
two
Sigma, Jay
favorite.
Humphreys,
That was the
Kristoviak,
start.
remember those guys?
Ben likes
Really?
the T-Wolves.
Yeah, you like
I
T-Wolves
don't.
wow. When they
I like
had
the
Wally,
ladies. They're good.
Wally Zerbiak, and then the Bucks got, hey, I remember my first game I ever went to as a Bucks fan. Vin Baker was like a second-year player.
You said that last time.
You remember?
That was my first game I ever went to.
How many calls? Vinny was before we went on. Vinny said we're going to have at least 4 different times where you tried to end the show and then we don't actually end the show. And I think
Nope.
he's right.
No,
Once you say that's it, then it's another 20 minutes after that.
I had to share the Giannis joke. Such a good joke.
It wasn't that good.
Wow, come on. You know what? You're not that good. We're out of here.
Wow.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. All right, we'll see
Well,
you
I
guys
can't
tomorrow.
compare myself to Aaron Rodgers or Giannis. I'm sorry.
Peace to all you guys. I already said Giannis is a way better human being than me and a way better basketball player. That's not even questionable. All right. Peace out. We'll see you guys later.